Good morning and welcome to the Connecting to Healing interview. I am interviewing Michelle Brown today with Dynamic Mobility Training. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for
Hey,
joining
Stephanie,
me.
how are you?
I'm doing okay. Happy to be here with you. So I would love for you to do your little 30-second elevator speech. Tell us a little bit about your business, what you do.
Okay. Well, I help women and men to have more energy, to have less stress, to have more focus, and to really connect to their bodies. Because when we connect to our bodies, that's when we find our most, our genius. And that's also when we can heal ourselves. So I do that through movement, through breath work, and through focused attention and body work too.
Awesome. So let's take the listeners down memory lane a little bit. So how did you get into this? Can you share a little bit of your healing journey and how you discovered all of these wonderful modalities?
Sure. Well, I was in corporate America and got sick a lot. And then I just decided, hey, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life on antibiotics because that had happened from my childhood up until, up through my 20s. And I decided to find something else. And so I just started taking different classes, and I found a therapist that helped me when a lot of natural ways, some acupressure, and I started taking those classes, and then those led to other classes, and I decided to become a full-time student for a while, and had babies and didn't want to be sick, So I just kept taking different classes. I have thousands of hours of training. And then I decided to start practicing. So I switched my corporate job to this whole natural health field. And I found all kinds of different things. I did Japanese acupressure, and I did structural balancing developed by an osteopath, and then I found movement, and I've been doing this movement for the past 15 years, and I did the body work about 15 years before I found the movement, and it's really helped me heal. It's helped me to have much better relationships with my family. My two girls, they did not talk to me in high school. And I've had such a hard time with that. And now we have great relationships, but I've really worked on it and learned how to do not only movement in my body, but movement in my mind, and totally improved my relationship with my husband. I think when you do movement and breath work, it helps you to communicate in your own system easier. And then when you can communicate with yourself, it's easier to communicate with other people. So that's been a wonderful journey. And then I don't get, sick a lot anymore. I did just get COVID, but someone in my office had it, and what can I say,
Right. Well, it didn't take you down too long though, right?
It did not take me down too long. And I one of the things that I really used to work with it is a lot of energy work, and that helped so much. So my body's really so much healthier than when I was in my 20s. And I've applied everything that I have learned and practiced into my practice now and on me. So I'm a living example.
That is awesome.
I just love that what I do. I totally test out on me first.
That's so great. I love hearing these stories. That's honestly, this is why I do the Connecting to Healing interviews, because we are self-healers, and we don't know that we are self-healers because we're so ingrained in the belief that we have to look outside of ourselves for healing. that we think anytime something comes up, we have to go to the doctor. We have to go fix it, go somewhere, get it fixed. And yeah, it's awesome to hear your story and how powerful it's been in your life.
Yeah.
Every single dimension of your existence is this journey. So it's beautiful.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
So what is your professional background? Did you end up getting like higher education degrees and like going the usual university route before corporate America?
I did. I went to university for 4 years, and then I went to graduate school in international marketing and management. And I was gonna, this is so funny. I was gonna work for the CIA. And I had a job and everything, and I decided to get married instead and stay in Phoenix. So I was going to move to Washington, D.C. And then I just, it just didn't appeal to me. I mean, I don't like cold weather.
It would have put you in D.C., right?
Yeah. So, so I went a different route, got married and then started the whole healing journey thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what made you decide your own business, and when did it officially begin?
Well, I did my own business for a while, and that officially began after, I worked in corporate for 12 years. So then it officially began, I'd say, after that. And then I took a little break from my own business, and worked for a chiropractor and did breath-led sessions for him. And that was okay, but it was someone else's work and I had to conform.
I get that. You've got an entrepreneurial spirit and you're
I know.
Let me out of this box.
I had to conform to that system and not do anything else. And I was just itching to do other things and do things in a way that really come to me and that feel in alignment with me. So I stopped working for the chiropractor, and then I found this whole movement journey and started applying it and using all my background of body work, but then doing movement with people.
Nice. So what products and services do you specifically offer? So when somebody comes to you, how does that work?
Okay. Well, I offer services, and the services that I offer are movement training. And the movement connects you to your body so that you can unwind blockages, so that you can work with specific things that keep you tied up in your body, whether it's pain or illness or emotions. So I help to unwind. I can see where those blockages are by the way people move and by the way people breathe. And so then what I do is I guide them to breathe in a way that helps them fill up with energy, unwind those blocks and stuck points, and make new pathways. It's a whole neural pathway system that really helps you to have less pain, and also new neural pathways to think differently. We tend to get in our boxes about the way we move, the way we sit, the way we think, the way we do business. And when you can have a lot of new ideas, then you're not locked in a box. And entrepreneurs usually do not, well, it depends. They don't like to be locked in someone else's box.
We can lock ourselves in a box, can't we?
But we can lock ourselves in a box. So you want to be able to think clearly and think, outside the box. And the movement And the breath work that I do helps you to do that. It helps take you out of your box and out of your patterns and out of your programs. Because we all have these programs that we've bought into, and programs from past experiences. And if you can move around those or out of those or through those, then you can heal. Like, I've worked with people with tremors before, and I've seen tremors stop.
Wow.
I've worked with people with back pain before and seen that heal. I've worked with people with recovering from surgeries and seen them unwind the trauma of the surgery. Because when you have surgeries, there is a trauma
Oh yeah.
that happens. And then, gosh, I've just worked with people that are inflexible, that don't have a big range of movement, to get a wider range of movement. People that are recovering from strokes to have more range of motion in maybe the limbs or the part of the body that got stuck in the stroke and didn't quite get worked out.
That's great. So
Yeah.
it sounds like you can work with people almost at any age.
Yeah. I mean, the youngest that I've worked with, it was 8. And I worked with a 15-year-old girl through college with anxiety, and helping her learn how to, have less anxiety. And then I work with people that are 80 and 80, the oldest 87.
Nice. 8 to 87.
8 to 87.
So cool.
Mostly in the 40 to 65 range, but not really. I work with a lot of older people. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So how has your business shifted, or have any of your offerings changed? I know we were all pretty challenged during the pandemic to run our businesses. So how have you pivoted?
Okay. I love that word, pivoted. So funny. I pivoted because I put all of my clients on virtual sessions at the start of the pandemic, at least the ones that would do it, which was the majority of them. And now I have so many more virtual sessions, than in-person sessions.
Huh.
Yeah. So I work with
Awesome.
people all over the country, basically. And I had a great advantage that I was already working with people virtually. So
Nice.
It wasn't like this big new thing. Now it's just more. And, a lot of people don't want to get out and drive, or they can't because they live in California, or they live
Right.
in Florida, or they
Not
live
willing to drive 300 miles to see you.
yeah, the upper East Coast or whatever.
That's great. So it expanded you, basically. It expanded your business. That's wonderful. I love hearing that. So what is the experience of being coached by you? I mean, it sounds like it's mostly one-on-one. Do you ever do group sessions, or is it primarily one-on-one?
I have a virtual class that I do every 2 weeks right now online. And that's usually on Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock Phoenix time, which is Pacific time. And it's an hour class. It's an hour movement class. And we move and breathe and connect and unwind stuff. And it's it's like a great duo, the private sessions and the virtual class, because you get specifics in your private sessions on where your blockages are, how to work with them, how to unwind them. And then the virtual class is a great pairing because in the virtual class, you get to practice it. It takes a lot of work to get yourself to practice something over and over that you don't have guidance with. So the virtual class, and something you're learning. So the virtual class gives you like a little playground to practice what you learn in the private sessions. And yeah. So, and then I do private group sessions too, for 4 people at a time or less.
Okay.
So if people,
so people can hire you to teach their group, essentially.
Sure, like a group of friends or a corporate group. And then I do speak to different groups. So I speak to, have a really fun talk, and it just goes by what happens in the group. So I, cater it to each group and what they want. But we do energy work, and we do tapping, and we do movement and breath work. And it's great to know some tips and tricks that you can use throughout the day to keep yourself healthy. So definitely. I do that. Yeah, I do those talks too.
Nice. How can people get in touch with you if they'd like to work with you?
I do have a website, michellbrown.com. There's no E there. It's Michell Brown.com. People can schedule a free consultation on there, and I go over with people where they are now, where they want to be, and show them how they can get there.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and they can always come to my virtual class too. And it's like every other Monday. So
is that also on your website, or do you have like a meetup group or other places where you promote that?
It's on my website, and then I do an awful lot of social media. So I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram, and I post a lot about my class there too.
Great. Okay. Wonderful. Well, would you like to leave our listeners with a final thought? Anything about?
Sure. I would say one thing, it's kind of stressful right now. Things are a bit stressful. Current events are really stressful. People are stressed out. And I just have a couple of tips I'd love to leave people with. One of the things that you can do to calm yourself down is when you're lying in bed, or just even on your, sitting at your desk, if you put your fingers just right at your temples, and just take a few breaths and close your eyes and just let your breath flow all the way out. And if you do that, just feel how the breath flows out. And the place you're touching under your fingertips tells the fight or flight system in your body to calm down. So that's a really good place to hold your fingers. You can also put one hand just on your forehead and hold that for about 10 or 20 minutes even, while you're lying down. And that also is very calming to your system.
I feel that.
I know. It's a really, really calming to do. It's great if you can't get to sleep, or if you, need some TLC. And then one more place that's very calming is if you put your hand over your heart, and then you've got a little web on your hand between the little finger and the fourth finger. There's a little web in between those fingers. If you just put your hand on your heart and gently tap that, just keep tapping it. You can even do it on a Zoom call, and people really can't see you do it, but you just tap that a little bit. And that also tells the stress part, the meridian that creates, or that protects you in fight or flight. It says, oh, I'm safe now. I can relax. I'm going to be okay. So whenever those emotions come up or things come up, doing one of these things, the temples or the forehead or the tapping, it can just signal to your system, hey, we're safe right now. You know, everything's not solved, but the more that I can calm myself down, the more that your mind can open up to solve problems or just be at peace inside yourself, even in turmoil. So those are some great things that people can use to really calm down and get more regulated in their system, because I think that's really important. If you regulate your system and you're more calm inside yourself, then that calm will spread to other people around you, and then that calm spreads to people around them, and then, you know, it's like when you drop a little pebble in the water and the rings go out.
The ripple effect, yes.
A ripple effect. So I think
Definitely. Yeah.
it's really great to have things that you can do to be at peace inside yourself. And it's so funny because people will say, well, it didn't work. And I'm like, how long did you try it for? 5 seconds? You know, I've been doing this for years. So you have to find what works for you, but you also have to practice it. And the more you practice being peaceful, the more you send information to your whole nervous system to be more at peace. And the more you learn how to do it, because we've all learned how to be in freak out, fight or flight mode. Like that's like super easy to do.
Oh yeah, we've learned how to adapt to it and just stay there, right?
It's true. So you can, if you learn that, you can learn the other side, but it does take practice and it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that you train yourself, the more advantage you have when hysteria breaks out, or, you know, situations in your life you can't control happen. You've got like some backups inside you that say, okay, this is a challenge, but you can handle it. So you want to build that ability inside yourself. So those are a few tips that I would leave with everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. This has been a beautiful conversation. I can't wait to share this with our community. Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. This has been so fun. Thank you.